Chopping wood is depressing, so this is an appropriate tune.
Thank you, Father. All around me are familiar
trees.
Worn out places, worn out faces. Thank you, man. Here's a bit of wood as a reward.
Yeah, it's depressing, isn't it? Farming for wood. Thanks. Appreciate it.
It really is.
See ya.
Texas.
So, do you die a lot? Afraid to farm? Scared of who's watching? Do sweaty geared tryhards kill you every time you farm? You go, John Claude. I'm gonna help you. Yeah! Hey all you rusty freaks, Merry Christmas, Bar Humbug, and a happy 220! This video is going to give you a plus 33% to your survivability rating. I'm going to teach you how to survive farming, especially you solos and small groups. Wait. Don't click off. Don't leave for all you experienced gamers and people with, 2,000 hours plus. Towards the end, I'm going to give you some advanced tips and also show you how to play these new instruments. Not just the right-click play, but play any music you want. Alright, let's go outside and talk about how to survive. I don't want you to be one of these people that loses a whole inventory full of farm or that has your whole starter base in your inventory and then you get zapped. Alright, you rusty freaks, I'm going to break this up into 3 sections. The basics, then for experienced Rust players, and then some advanced tips. So the basics, number 1, keep moving and keep looking. That's the number 1 rule in Rust anyway. So if I was going to farm this area, the first thing I would do, not just run over and go, oh wow, look at all these nodes and look at all these trees. First thing I'd do, apart from keep moving, you should never stand still. Like, see what I'm doing now? Ever. No matter what you're doing, if you're talking to someone doing something, you should always be moving. First thing I would do, if I want to farm this area, is find a high point, look around, make sure no one's going to sneak up on me. Tip number 2 of the basics is try to have the high ground. So if there's nodes down there and there's nodes up top there, hit the nodes up top, because then at least you got a better chance of seeing someone sneaking up on you than if you're farming down there. The other thing is visibility. Okay, so if I start hitting this node, see how little of the screen I can see around me? If you crouch, you automatically see further around you. So you should be, wherever it's practical, crouching. And that's all I've got to say for basic tips. And just because you're farming a node doesn't mean you have to keep hitting it until it's gone. If you want to check that no one is sneaking up on you, just stop hitting that node. It's not going anywhere. Make sure the area is still safe. And get on with it. So that's it for basics. Keep your head on a swivel. Keep moving. Look out. Try to take the high ground. And after farming, recheck the area. I'd say after every node, after every tree, check the area again, because you're hitting the node or you're felling a tree could attract people. They could be on their way because they heard the pickaxe or because they saw a tree fall down. How many of you are still with me? People seem to leave after about 2 or 3 minutes. So what I'm going to tell you now is that the best stuff is at the end of the video, so don't leave. Alright, experienced tips. So you might have 1,000 hours. I'm going to give you about I don't know, 8 more tips for the experienced people. I'll bet you there's at least one you don't know or aren't doing. So you see people do this. They kind of follow the X, right? And if you're crouching, even better, because you see more. See? If I'm crouching, I see more around me. And you say, well, if I'm following the X, I'm moving. Well, you are, but you're moving in a predictable way. People can still head shoot you in the head. What I'd suggest you do is move backwards and forwards as well as following the X. Takes a bit of practice, but you can do it. You know, try to move unpredictably as well. You know, every now and then look down. You know, you don't have to follow the X. If you move that way all of a sudden when they're expecting you to move left, it's better. See how I'm sort of swaying in and out? Now I've dropped 2 trees, so I'm starting to get nervous. Is someone sneaking out? So I should clear the area again. I know that's one of the basic tips. Alright, hear those booms in the distance? Any noise that is in the game, if there's people shooting or if there's booms, that would be a good time to, you know, make noise of your own, like hitting this node. So here's an example of me moving not just side to side, but also back and forward while hitting nodes. And just because your pickaxe or whatever has a certain rate of hitting doesn't mean you have to just hold your finger down on the left mouse and just let it farm. If it makes more sense because of the speed of the tool you're using, or because of the noise around you, or because you want to look over your shoulder, then just tap, you know. I want to move back and forward this much, so, and look around me, so I'm just going to hit a little bit slower, but I'm covering my bases more. Gonna clear the area. Now, if you know there's people in an area where, like, this is a bad example, but let's say there. Let's say that peak of snow over there. You know there's people over there, so you're worried about felling these trees because even though they're miles away, they might see the trees go down. Then just farm fallen trees. No one's going to see them from a long ways away. Alright? Now, the other thing you need to know, or need to have, is you need to have a farming bind. I'm going to put the farming bind in the description, and this is it on the screen in that beautiful cloud right now. Farming bind lets you, for example, keep hitting and hitting and hitting while you're not holding any keys or pressing on your mouse. This is great for when you want to outlook behind you and keep hitting a node or a tree, or if you're raiding a base, you know, if you're soft picking the backside of a wall, or if you're struggling to move while clicking and whatnot, you can just press your auto farm button. For me, it's the Z. Alternative tools, guys. This will farm wood. This will farm wood. If you're desperate, use a stone. Alright. Experience tip number what? 4 or 5? This probably should be a basic one. It's farm fast GTFO. Farm fast, get the fuck out. If I decided to farm in this area, I would not have spent as much time as I've been talking to you guys. I would hit a couple of trees, and then I'd run away and depot. It's like doing a smash and grab raid. If you've got a C4, sorry, if you've got 2 C4 and you blow an unhoneycombed wall, and you get straight to loot or straight to TC, you loot it and then run away. By the time people get there, because they're coming to where they heard the noise, you're already gone. So you hit 2 trees and you get the hell out. Because anyone in the area that heard the trees fall... What? What happened there? That's different. Oh, I know what happened. I accidentally hit Shift E. Shift E is how you spawn in deployables on a build server that allows it. As far as I know, there is only one server that does allow you to spawn in deployables, and it's this one. So shout out and thanks to Intoxicated Gaming Sandbox server, Intoxicated US Sandbox. So now I'm safe. Anyone who came to see what that tree falling noise was, not going to find me. Guys, when I said farm fast, I also meant to say farm light. I imagine it's kind of obvious, or that it's one of the basic tips, but you'd be surprised how often people don't do it. Like, I see YouTubers with 6,000 hours experience filling a whole page with farm. Don't do that. If you're going to go out farming, the smart thing to do would be to bring a stash bag with you, or 2 stash bags, and actually this is advanced tips. Alright, I'll just keep it to farm light. Alright, so hit 2 trees and then depot the wood. Hit 2 nodes, depot the wood. Or if you want to take more of a risk, hit 3 nodes and then depot. Or hit 3 trees and then depot. Just don't keep farming and farming and farming and farming until your inventory's full. Alright, guys, that's it for experience. So we've done experience, we've done basics. Now, advanced tips. So I did an experiment recently where I wanted to know if you could hear stone tools, because I always assumed that this, hear this, it's not as loud as, say, this. Or at least it doesn't sound that loud. But it turns out that you can hear either of them from the same distance. And that distance happens to be 20 foundation squares. So if you build 20 foundations long, that's the distance. And after 20 foundations, you hear nothing. By the way, this is what a person looks like on your screen from 20 foundation squares away. Thanks, Larry the role player, for helping me out with this experiment. Alright. This tip, I'm assuming everyone knows by now, but if you're not completely, if I haven't been playing Rust for hours, here it is. And this goes for sulfur nodes and metal ore nodes, not for stone. Stone is a bit different. Sulfur nodes. Most people come along and 1, 2... Oh. Well, that ruined it, but they take like 6 hits to break to completely finish a sulfur node. Here's a faster way. You don't hit the sparkly once, then you hit it 1, 2, 3, 4 times and it's gone. So if you do that everywhere, after a while it saves you a lot of time. So it's 5 hits. Whereas if you just keep hitting the sparkly, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. It's 1 less hit. Might not seem like much, but it makes your farming go faster. And this works on metal ore nodes as well. Miss. That's 1, 2, 3, 4. Now for some reason I can't spawn in jackhammers, but with the jackhammer, don't just hold down the left mouse button. The trick with the jackhammer is to tap the mouse button. You'll actually farm the nodes faster. So when you're at a thing, it's tap. Now with the chainsaw, I noticed it's actually faster to cut down a tree if you follow the X. Another pro tip for using the chainsaw, don't wait till it runs out of... I might stop talking while I'm cutting, it's probably a bit loud. Okay, don't wait for it to run out and then refuel it. The great thing about the chainsaw is that you can refuel. Look, right now it's got 32 low grade. I'm hitting refuel. See, it's still, you can refuel while you're cutting. Nothing like a chainsaw for farming wood. But don't forget, you know, keep moving around. Left, right, back and forward. Left, right, back and forward. Forward and backward. Left and right. Alright. Since we're talking about farming, I'd be remiss if I didn't mention the outpost. Now, the outpost is something that will be on all procedural maps and on Happers too. It's this monument here. Now, really, farming wood is for suckers. Smart people hit 3 or 4 nodes and then they bring that stone to the outpost and trade it for wood. For just 3 or 4 nodes you can get half an inventory full of wood. So the smartest way to get wood is from the outpost. I'd say that's an experienced player's tip. But I forgot, so there you go. Alright. Here is pro tip time. Let's say you've done all the good advice I've given you. You've checked the area out. You've gone to high ground. You've made sure no one is in the vicinity. And you start farming. You've got an inventory with 4,000 wood, so you've already broken your own rule about not farming too long before depoting stuff back in your base. And you're over here. And you're right on this ridge and you're farming this stone node and suddenly you see geared guys. Oh shit, they're running up the hill, they've seen me. You know they're gonna kill you. They've got AKs and all you've got is a bow. And you're not even that good because you're a beginner. Quickly. If you're not quick, don't bother doing it. Quickly, stash. You can even use the new high-speed thingy, which I think it's T. You'll have to check that. Quickly stash, and then maybe even have a fight with them so that they think that, you know, they've got you and they've got everything you were farming. Or maybe try and run away. Maybe you'll get away from them. If you didn't bring stash bags because you're a total noob, at least find a bush like this. Throw your best stuff in there and then keep running. Lead them away from where you stashed your goodies. I can't believe how few people do this. And then maybe even let them kill you. The other thing that would be a good idea to bring is bring a sleeping bag. If you're farming away from your base and you get killed or you die, you did something stupid like you wandered into a radiation area or you died of the cold or whatever. You want to be able to come straight back, grab your loot, and then leave. So, I only had about 3 or 4 advanced tips, and that would be advanced tip number 4. If you see sweaties coming, if you know you're going to die, stash your loot, or dump it in a bush. Alright, This is more of a PvP tip, but I mean the same thing goes for farming, and those sweaties come looking to scavenge off you like a bunch of seagulls. Let's say you're using a crossbow or a water pipe. You know how you like shoot and then have to reload? So when you're reloading, let's say the baddies are up on this hill and I want to reload while running away from them here. Look down. If you look down like this, your character's actually, yeah, see this shadow? Your character's hunched over and it's impossible for them to get a headshot on you. Right. So, for all you people that stuck around, here, as promised, is how to be able to play MIDI files on instruments.
It really is as easy as just those steps. You only need 2 programs. If you want to be able to edit them, there's a 3rd program. It's all written.
It's really easy. If I can figure it out, anyone can. Alright guys, I'm sure this video is already too long. I hope this has helped for you. Here's a summary. 1, keep moving and looking around everywhere. Keep checking high ground. Do it in between your farming as well, not just when you start. Experienced tips. Move left and right and backward and forward. Don't just do this left-right sidestep like like a teenager at a social or a dance or a ball or whatever you guys call it, prom for the Americans. Farm fast, get the fuck out. Farm light, get the fuck out. Don't stick around in one area farming every single tree. Hit a few trees in one area, move to another area. Oh, I forgot. If you're using stone tools, you probably noticed they actually hit faster, more rapidly than metal tools. And that makes it awkward for the moving around. So you might not just hold it down, just actually tap, move, tap, move, tap, move, tap. It's better than being, you know, sort of not moving much because the axe hits so quickly. Anyway, back to experience tips summary. Hit while there's booms going. Whoops, sorry, that's not number 4. Farm fast, go slow hit. Hit while there's booms in the area. Crouch because your field of view is greater when you're crouched. Avoid lopping down trees if people might see them falling. Bind, a key bind for auto attacking, and I include duck in there because crouching, you can always hit control again to not be crouching and it'll still keep hitting for the auto attack bind. We call it a farming bind, but it's great for raiding, primitive raiding. Alt looking can save your life. Who cares about playing the mini game of hitting the sparkly bit if it's more important, if you think there's people behind you, to alt look. You're out looking over your shoulder while it keeps hitting. This could save your life. Alright. The outpost. The outpost is the best way to get wood. Why farm wood, which is tedious and dangerous? You can get killed if you can just hit 3 or 4 nodes and then trade it at the outpost. Alternative tools. If you don't have space in your inventory or you don't have tools and you've got some bones, turn it into a bone club. Or carry a salvaged hammer. They don't farm well, they don't farm a lot, but it's something. Advanced tips. Sound carries 20 squares. Don't farm if you're within 20 squares of someone else. And I don't mean map squares, I'm talking about foundation squares. The sparkles on nodes. If you're using salvage tools, this doesn't work for any kind of other tools. Miss the first hit of the sparkle and then hit the sparkle for all the other hits. Tap the jackhammer, don't just hold the left mouse down. If you see sweaties coming to get you, dump your loot in a bush or dump it in a stash bag, come back later. We've got map markers nowadays, so if you're farming here, you can right click and quickly mark where you were, You know, throw down a bag, which is to imply that you should bring stash bags and a sleeping bag with you when you go farming. And if they're shooting at you, run like this. I know it's awkward. You can peek up every now and then to make sure you're still going the right way, but zigzag while looking down at your feet. That means they won't be able to get a headshot on you. Alright guys, love you very much. Thanks for watching this. Thanks for all the people, all the subscribers. Thanks for me being able to hit 350 subscribers. I hope you guys have the best Christmas. Don't overdo playing. Don't have a gaming addiction. And see you next year. Paxus out.
Paxus, can you not raid my base? Paxus, can you Paxus? Can you Paxus? Can you not raid my base? Paxus, can you Paxus? Can you?
Hey, you rusty freaks.